Have you ever been alone at home and suddenly felt a strange tightness in your chest? Or maybe a heaviness that just won't go away? It's a scary feeling, isn't it? Especially when you're by yourself and you don't know what's happening. If you're over 60, this isn't something to brush off or hope will pass. Your heart health becomes even more important as time goes on, and knowing what to do if a heart attack strikes can be the difference between life and death. Today, we're going to talk about something that many people don't like to think about, but it's so crucial: how to survive a heart attack when you're alone. This isn't about frightening you, it's about empowering you, because even if you're on your own, you can still take steps that protect your life. Let's start by thinking about why this matters so much. After 60, the risk of heart attacks rises, not because our bodies suddenly change overnight, but because of the natural wear and tear, lifestyle factors, and sometimes those sneaky underlying health issues that creep up quietly. What's even more worrying is that many heart attacks happen when there's no one around to help immediately. You might live alone, or your family might be out for the day. So, what can you do in those critical moments? Well, first, it helps to recognize the signs early. Not every heart attack looks the same, especially for seniors. You might think, I know chest pain is a sign, but what if I don't have that? That's a good point. Many seniors experience heart attacks differently. It might feel more like indigestion, or you could notice shortness of breath, sweating, nausea, or even a sudden overwhelming sense of anxiety. If you ever feel unusual discomfort, don't wait it out or assume it's something less serious. Now, what should you do first when you suspect something's wrong? The very first step is to stop what you're doing and sit down or lie down if you feel dizzy or weak. Don't try to walk around or do any chores thinking the feeling will pass. Your body needs to conserve energy, and staying still can help prevent the situation from worsening. While you're sitting or lying down, it's important to call for emergency help right away. I know sometimes it's tempting to wait just a little longer or hope it's nothing serious. But calling 911 or your local emergency number is the best thing you can do. Even if you're not sure it's a heart attack, getting help early means you're not taking chances. If you have a phone nearby, keep it close at all times, especially as you get older. If you don't have a phone right at hand, consider getting a medical alert device. These little gadgets are designed to call for help at the push of a button. Many seniors find peace of mind in having one, especially if they live alone or spend time in places where phones might not be immediately accessible. Now, here's something that can literally save your life during a heart attack: chewing an aspirin. If you have aspirin nearby and you're not allergic, chew one right away after calling for help. Chewing aspirin helps thin the blood and can slow down the damage to your heart while you wait for the ambulance. It's quick, simple, and effective. Just make sure it's aspirin and not any other kind of pill. But here's a question I often hear. What if I don't have aspirin on hand? That's a great question. If you don't panic. Just focus on staying calm and breathing slowly. Sometimes panic can make your heart work harder and make things worse. Speaking of breathing, learning how to manage your breath during such stressful moments can be surprisingly helpful. Slow, deep breaths help keep oxygen flowing and reduce panic. It sounds simple, but the way you breathe when you're scared can affect your heart's workload. Now, one of the most important things I want to share is that you need to be prepared, not just physically, but mentally. It's tough to face the idea of a heart attack alone, but being ready means you have a better chance of surviving it. This means knowing your own body well enough to recognize what's normal and what isn't. Have you ever thought about sharing this information with your family or close friends? It might feel a little uncomfortable to talk about, but it can be a lifesaver, letting them know your health status, what medications you take, and your plan if you feel something strange means they can help you better, even from a distance. Plus, they can remind you to keep your emergency numbers handy. When you live alone, having a plan is everything. For example, placing emergency contact numbers near your phone or on your refrigerator, keeping your medications organized and within reach, and making sure someone checks on you regularly can make a huge difference. You might wonder if there's anything you can do right now before anything happens to be safer. Absolutely. Regular health checkups, managing your blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes if you have them, and staying active all contribute to a stronger heart. But since accidents and emergencies can happen any time, it's also about knowing what to do in those first critical minutes. Imagine this. You start feeling that discomfort. You sit down calmly, call for help, chew your aspirin, and control your breathing. You're already doing more than many people do. And even if you feel weak or scared, remember that emergency responders are trained to get to you quickly. Your job is to give them the best chance to find you and start treatment. Some people worry about calling emergency services because they don't want to bother anyone or fear the hospital. But the truth is, it's better to be safe than sorry. Waiting too long can cause permanent damage, and every minute counts. One last thought before we move on. Heart attacks don't always mean the end of your independence. Surviving one can be a turning point, a moment that makes you more aware of your health and your strength. And you're never alone, even if you live alone. You've already taken some important steps in your mind, knowing how to recognize the signs and what to do right away. But surviving a heart attack alone isn't just about those first moments. It's also about what you can do beforehand to prepare yourself and your environment, so when an emergency hits, you're not caught off guard. One thing that many people don't realize is how crucial it is to manage your medications properly. After 60, it's common to be on multiple prescriptions, and some of these might affect your heart health or interact with each other in unexpected ways. Keeping a detailed list of all your medications, including the dosages and how often you take them, can make a big difference, not just for you, but for emergency responders who might need to know this information quickly. A good habit is to review this list regularly with your doctor or pharmacist. Ask questions if you're unsure about anything. Sometimes medications need adjusting as your health changes. And if you ever feel strange side effects, don't hesitate to speak up. Your health team is there to help you, and being proactive about your medications can prevent many problems before they start. Another practical thing to think about is making your home heart attack friendly. That might sound strange, but it's about creating an environment where you can respond quickly and safely if something happens. For example, place your phone within easy reach wherever you spend most of your time. You don't want to be scrambling to find it when every second counts. Also, keep your aspirin and emergency numbers somewhere obvious, maybe near the phone or on the refrigerator door. And if you have a medical alert device, wear it consistently. It's easy to forget or feel self-conscious about it, but that little device is like having a lifeline. It can connect you to help even if you're unable to reach your phone. Now, let's talk about the importance of physical fitness, not just for preventing heart attacks, but also for improving your chances of surviving one. It might seem intimidating if you're not very active right now, but even gentle activities like walking, stretching, or light gardening can boost your heart health. Regular movement improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, and helps keep your weight in check. But there's more to it than just moving your body. It's about knowing your limits and not pushing too hard. Many seniors worry about exercising because they fear it might trigger a heart problem. But the key is to listen to your body and choose activities that feel comfortable and safe. And if you're unsure where to start, talk to your doctor about a plan that fits your needs. Also, staying mentally active and managing stress plays a huge role in heart health. Stress can cause your heart to race and raise your blood pressure, so finding ways to relax and unwind is not just good for your mind, but your heart too. It might be reading a favorite book, listening to music, spending time with loved ones, or practicing deep breathing exercises. Whatever brings you calm, make it a regular part of your day. Speaking of breathing, we touched on how slowing down your breath during a heart attack can help. But there's a practice called mindful breathing that you can do daily to train yourself to stay calm during stressful moments. It's simple and doesn't take long. Just sit quietly, breathe in slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold it for a moment, then breathe out through your mouth for a count of 6. Doing this a few times a day can help lower your overall stress levels. Another life-saving habit is knowing when and how to get help beyond just calling emergency services. If you have neighbors or friends nearby, make sure they know your situation and can check in on you regularly. Sometimes just having someone stop by to say hello can mean the difference between being found quickly and waiting too long in an emergency. If you don't have neighbors close by, think about asking a family member or friend to set a schedule for regular check-ins, especially if you're feeling unwell or just to stay connected. Social isolation can be dangerous, not just emotionally, but physically. A quick phone call or visit can be reassuring for both you and your loved ones. It's also important to have a plan for how to communicate your symptoms clearly, if you can. When emergency responders arrive, telling them exactly what you felt, when it started, and if you took any medications can speed up their treatment. Some people find it helpful to keep a small notebook or note on their phone with this information ready to share. You might wonder about what to do if you lose consciousness during a heart attack, which is a scary thought. While it's hard to prepare for that, having someone who knows your condition and where to find you helps tremendously. This is why keeping your living space safe, no loose rugs, good lighting, and easy access to exits is so important. Finally, don't underestimate the power of education. Learning about our heart health, the warning signs, and emergency steps isn't just for doctors or nurses, it's for you. There are simple courses and videos tailored for seniors that can give you more confidence and knowledge. The more you know, the better prepared you'll feel, and that peace of mind can make a big difference in an emergency. Remember, the goal isn't to live in fear, but to live with awareness and readiness. Heart attacks are serious, but you can be the best advocate for your own health, especially when you're alone. By taking these practical steps, managing medications, creating a safe environment, staying active, practicing calm breathing, connecting with others, and educating yourself, you're building a strong foundation to protect yourself. Now, as you think about all of this, it might feel overwhelming, but take it one step at a time. Even small changes like moving your phone closer or talking with your doctor about your medications are huge wins. And knowing that you have a plan gives you strength and control over your health. With this mindset, you're not just surviving, you're thriving, staying independent and empowered every single day. Now that we've talked about preparing your space, managing medications, staying active, and keeping calm during an emergency, let's explore a few more important things that can truly save your life if a heart attack happens when you're alone. One of the most critical steps is learning how to perform self-rescue techniques when you can't get help immediately. For example, if you start feeling chest pain or discomfort and you don't have immediate access to emergency services, there's a method called cough CPR that some people find useful. It's a technique where you take a deep breath and cough forcefully every 1 or 2 seconds to help keep blood flowing to your brain and heart. This isn't a replacement for professional medical care, but if you feel yourself slipping or becoming weak, this action can buy you some extra time until help arrives. Of course, not everyone is comfortable with this technique or able to do it depending on their condition, but it's worth knowing about. If you're curious, talk to your doctor or look for reputable sources where you can watch demonstrations. The key takeaway is that even when you feel helpless, there are actions you can take to fight back. Another life-saving habit is keeping track of your heart rate and symptoms daily. This doesn't mean obsessing over numbers, but simply being aware. You can use simple devices like a home blood pressure monitor or a pulse oximeter, which are easy to use and give quick readings. If you notice anything unusual, like a racing heart, irregular beats, or dizziness, it's a sign to call your doctor sooner rather than later. Early detection can prevent a crisis. This awareness also helps when you talk to emergency responders. They get a clearer picture of what's going on, which helps them act faster. Let's not forget about diet. What you eat plays a huge role in your heart's health and recovery. Eating foods that are rich in fiber, low in saturated fats, and packed with nutrients strengthens your heart over time. Think fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. It's never too late to make healthier food choices in small swaps, like choosing olive oil instead of butter or snacking on nuts instead of chips can add up. Drinking plenty of water is just as important. Staying hydrated helps your heart pump blood more easily, which reduces strain. Sometimes we forget to drink enough, especially on busy days or when we're not feeling our best. Keeping a water bottle nearby and sipping regularly is a simple habit that can protect your heart. Now, one last but very important point. Don't underestimate the power of hope and a positive attitude. Facing the possibility of a heart attack alone is tough. It can make anyone feel anxious or scared, but remember, your mindset influences your body more than you might think. Staying positive and motivated encourages you to take care of yourself and follow through on the tips we've discussed. You're not just fighting for survival, you're fighting for your quality of life. Imagine living each day with confidence that you know what to do and that you're prepared for whatever comes your way. That peace of mind can itself reduce stress and improve your heart health. If you ever feel overwhelmed or worried, reach out to friends, family, or support groups. You're part of a community that cares, even if you sometimes feel alone. Sharing your experiences and learning from others who have faced similar challenges can be incredibly comforting. To wrap things up, surviving a heart attack alone after 60 isn't about miracles. It's about practical knowledge, preparedness, and small but powerful habits. Recognizing the signs early, knowing how to call for help, managing your medications and environment, staying active and calm, monitoring your health, eating well, and maintaining hope. These are the steps that can save your life. Take these tips to heart, literally and figuratively, and remember that every small change is a victory. Your health is your most precious asset, and you have the power to protect it. If you found this video helpful, please share your thoughts or your own experiences in the comments below. Hearing your stories not only inspires others, but helps build a supportive community where we all learn and grow together. Don't forget to like this video if it gave you some peace of mind, and subscribe to the channel for more practical advice that helps you live your best life at any age. Here's to your health, your independence, and your strength. Because it's never too late to take charge and thrive.